Hello everyone and welcome back to This Is Real Life. I'm your host Sheri, and on today's DIY Wednesday video, I thought we'd kick off 2025 with a look at 2024's DIYs. And we're gonna rank them. We're gonna rank them in a tier list, guys. I know. It's gonna be amazing, so let's get into it. So, let's go over the tier categories that I have created so that we can rank all of the 2024 DIYs. Our most superior top tier list is super awesome, you should make it. Pretty much self-explanatory. I don't need to tell you guys what that category means. It's in the title. DIY is super awesome, and I think you should totally make it. Top tier. Our second tier is, you should probably make this one too. This is for the DIYs that aren't top super awesome tier, but they're still amazing DIYs that I highly recommend you make. They're not super awesome. Like if super awesome was here, this tier is like right there. It's like pushing super awesome. So I still think you should make them. Our third tier is, if you already have the supplies, why not? These are for the DIYs of 2024 that didn't turn out as awesome as I thought they would, but they're still pretty good. And if you have everything around the house already and you want to make them, then I say you should probably make them. But on the other hand, I also wouldn't necessarily go out and buy all the supplies just to make this DIY. If you already have the supplies, then yeah, you should make this DIY. Our fourth tier is, just because you can doesn't mean you should. And this category is for all of you who think, I'm just gonna rank everything in the top because I did all of these DIYs, and so obviously I think they're all amazing. No. I can be honest with myself and I can be honest with you. There are some DIYs that I have tried that I will never try again and I will not recommend. And that is why I have created the just because you can doesn't mean you should category. And our fifth and final category is not really a DIY, but it is a great video nonetheless. And this is for all of those DIY videos that we actually didn't DIY anything. But because it's a This Is Real Life DIY video, it's a good video. So it's gonna get ranked in that category. All right, now that we have the categories explained, let's start to ranking. Going back to the very beginning of 2024, we made the Cornhole scoreboard. Now, back at the end of 2023, Stacy and I made the Cornhole boards. The scoreboard, I found directions on how to make that. I didn't come up with this scoreboard on my own. I followed build directions that I found online. Well, I made one for me, but then I also made one for Stacy to give to her as a Christmas present. And I think this scoreboard is amazing. I love Cornhole. I've been playing it for years. It's a great summertime by the pool party game. If you don't have Cornhole, you should think about getting one, making it yourself or just buying one. And then if you have it, you're probably gonna want a scoreboard, so you should probably DIY it just like I did. However, I will say that if you do have Cornhole boards already, while the scoreboard is amazing, you can just keep score like we did old school back in the day, just in our head. So while I loved the DIY, directions were easy to follow along with, everything was great about it, but I just think this one is you should probably make it. I don't think it was super amazing, like everybody on the planet must make it, but it was pretty good. The second video of 2024 was actually our bathroom series videos. Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, Part 4, and the finale. Parts 1 and 2, I made over my bathroom cabinets. We're gonna take these two videos and rank them together as one. Now, I have made over cabinets, they were actually kitchen cabinets in the past, and I hated it. I did it old school style, where you have to take everything down, sand it all, prime it, sand it, paint it, sand it, paint it, sand it, top coat it, sand it. It was a disaster, and I swore after doing those kitchen cabinets, I would never do kitchen cabinets or any cabinets ever again in my life. However, I discovered Beyond Paint, and that is a game changer. I even got Stacy on board with Beyond Paint. I got other people on board with Beyond Paint. The only bad side to Beyond Paint is that it's not cheap, but The upside, no sanding, no prep work, no nothing. Paint on 2 coats of Beyond Paint and your cabinets look mwah, chef's kiss. So, for that, I would say if you already had Beyond Paint, then I highly suggest you make over your cabinets. If you don't want to use Beyond Paint and you want to do it old school style, I'll tell you right now, don't do it. It's horrible, so time consuming to get it smooth and beautiful and to where it's not gonna chip. So hard to do. Beyond Paint made all of that a breeze. So if you already have the supplies, why not? You can make over any cabinets, kitchen, bathroom, what have you. I say do it if you're gonna use Beyond Paint. Don't do it if you're gonna try to do it the old school way. That's what I say. Next up in the bathroom makeover, I removed the medicine cabinet, I moved the electrical, I wallpapered the back wall, I rehung a new mirror, I put up lighting. This one, if you're not trying to do a full bathroom makeover, I would say skip it. I love wallpapering, I love it. I really hated that tiny medicine cabinet and I love that new mirror that Stacy and I found. I think it was at the Lowe's or the Home Depot, somewhere like that. But if you're not into taking out your medicine cabinet, relocating electrical, putting in new drywall, and then wallpapering everything, then I would say it's not for you. But it is definitely not a just because you can doesn't mean you should. I would say you should probably do it. Okay, let's take the electrical out of it. Just taking out that medicine cabinet, putting the drywall in, and then wallpapering and hanging a new mirror and doing the light fixture. Yes, 100%, I'm all about it. You guys should probably do it. 100% you should do it. Next up, we have Bathroom Makeover Part 4 and the finale. We'll combine those just like we did parts 1 and 2 because in Part 4 and the finale, I finished up the built-in. Now, I had this awkward space in my bathroom that was a waste of space. In a tiny bathroom, we cannot afford to waste any sort of space. I found this like dresser sort of a thing on the side of the road in a dumpster area, and I used it to fill in that weird, awkward space. This was a big job, but I love it. I love it. Now, it's not an easy DIY. You do have to have some skills, like with tools. However, if I can do it, you guys can do it. If I've said it once, I've said it a million times. I am no different than you. I am just not scared of using power tools. If you can get over your fear of using power tools, you can accomplish anything. And a built-in in your bathroom is something you can 100% do. Is mine perfect? No, it's not. But again, it's good enough for me. It looks great to the naked eye. If anybody wants to come in and scrutinize it, they are welcome to leave. That's what I have to say about that. So, for the built-in, we are putting it in. Super awesome, you should make that. And we're also doing it with the finale video. Super awesome, you should totally make it.
Let's say top tier.
I believe in you, and I know you can do it. Once the bathroom makeover was complete, we went into upcycling a thrift store find. Now, technically, this wasn't a thrift store find. It was Stacy's Aunt Diane, who was going to get rid of this piece of furniture, and she gave it to me instead. And I redid it with some paint that I had in the garage and the hardware that was sent to me from Cobb, I want to believe. I think that's who it was. If you find a piece of furniture at the thrift store for free, your mom's friend's aunt gives it to you, and you can slap a coat of paint on it and make it into something that you can use in your house. You know me, 100%. One man's trash is another man's treasure. I'm looking at it. It's right here. I love it so much. So yes, I'm all about taking something that was no cost to you and turning it into something that you will love.
It's amazing.
So obviously, we are putting the upscaling a thrift store find into super awesome, you should make it. After we upcycled our thrift store find, I went onto the Amazons and I was just looking around, getting some inspiration. And in looking around on the Amazons, I found a 5-layer wooden blanket ladder. And I thought it was so cute. Typically when you see blanket ladders, you see like the ladder. It's like leaning up against your wall. This one was different where it was hanging from ropes. And I just thought that was so cute. And I saw it and I said, I think we can make it. Now, I do have a problem with the blanket ladder I made. The shelf that I made to do the ropes to hold it on, I'm looking at it and it's not very level anymore. It's kind of dipping down, and I think that was probably an error on my part. I don't think I personally built it that great. The idea of the rope and the dowel and everything, we definitely made it for way cheaper than it was even for sale on Amazon, which was cheap already. I just think my construction in the shelf part wasn't perfect. It's like dipping down, and I don't know, I'm assuming it's from the weight of the blankets that I have hung on that ladder, because I have hung quite a few blankets on that ladder. So if I had to do it again, I don't think I would do it again. But then also, I don't think it's a shitty DIY. Does it really deserve to be in the just because you can doesn't mean you should video because I made an error when making it? I don't think so. But I know I used scrap wood, an old dowel from a closet. I think I had the rope from like the Dollar Tree. So you know what I'm gonna say? If you already have the supplies, why the hell not? I mean, you could also just go onto the Amazons and buy it. So yeah, if you already have the supplies, why not? It wasn't a bad DIY. I just didn't construct it that great. And I need to go back and look at it and kind of redo it and reinforce that shelf somehow. I don't know if I'm waiting for it to just all fall apart. It's fine now. I was the problem in that DIY. The DIY was not the problem, it was me. And so therefore, I think ranking it, if you already have the supplies, why not? I think that is perfectly fair. And that is where it's staying. This is pretty funny because after I made that blanket ladder, I actually did a DIY reactions video titled, Just Because You Can Doesn't Mean You Should. This automatically goes into the, it's really not a DIY, but it's a great video nonetheless. I actually love the Just Because You Can Doesn't Mean You Should series, and we will be continuing that series in 2025. So we didn't do any DIYs, but it's still a great video. After the reaction video, we went into full-blown backyard makeover. Now, this was a series just like the bathroom makeover. Now, some of the videos in the series I actually did on a Real Life Friday, so they won't be in this rank list. And the first one was the backyard makeover Operation Cleanup. We cleaned up the backyard and we made a plan for what we wanted the backyard to look like. I'm all about the plans of it all. I will get on my computer in Excel or in Word, try to draw things out, what I have a vision for, get my to-do list going. I am a full supporter of making a plan before you begin anything. I mean, you could go into your backyard, clean it up and be like, I think right here we should build a deck. And then you can go to the store and get all the supplies to build the deck. Me personally, I like an overview plan of everything that needs to get done. You know how I am about a to-do list. So as far as a DIY is concerned, I don't necessarily think this particular video really included any DIYs. It was more of how to prepare for taking on such a huge task as redoing your backyard. So I will say Operation Cleanup, not really a DIY, but a great video nonetheless. Next backyard video is actually part 2, and that is where I made the planter boxes that hold the sunshades. Now, come on, if you've seen that video, you know, amazing. The planter boxes with the 4x4 posts that support the sunshades in a backyard that basically only has trees up against the back fence, amazing. The planter boxes did not take any time at all. They were not very difficult. They're super sturdy. They support all of the weight of the sunshade. It's provided not only shade in the backyard, but beautiful. What did I plant in there? Lantana cascading down. I love those planter boxes. I've actually made the very similar planter boxes in my old house. So I know it's a DIY that is amazing. And by amazing, I mean super awesome. You should make it.
Toot or boot?
Toot.
After I made the planter boxes in the backyard, I moved very quickly onto the deck that surrounds the stock tank pool. Now, Editor John did come over and help me with this deck. While I feel like if you were one person, you could probably make a deck on your own, but it's like if you have a friend that's willing to come over and, you know, drink a beer and help you build the deck, then why not? I love the deck. I love the way it looks around the stock tank pool. Even if you didn't have a stock tank pool, but you wanted a different like elevation to your backyard, you know, somewhere where you can put like a patio table, an umbrella, just to make different levels in what otherwise would be just a flat desert backyard. The deck is not hard. For as much wood that went into it and everything involved, the cost right now, I don't remember how much it was because I just look out my backyard window right here and I see an amazingly beautifully built deck. And these neighbors over here, they've peeked over the fence and they love it too. I don't know, it just adds so much interest, again, to an otherwise boring backyard. If you've got the tools and you've got the time, it's not even so much if you've got the knowledge. Again, I don't have that much knowledge. I just am like, yeah, I feel like I could make that, and I made it. It's not that difficult, guys. It's really just wood screwed to other wood that makes a deck. I think deck building is amazing. I think that that deck is super awesome and you should probably make it. Now, backyard makeover part 6 is where I made all of the paver patio. You know, the paver patio situations. I made a lot of them. It was very, very hard manual labor. I'm torn with this because I hated it. I hated making those paver patios. However, I look in my backyard and I'm like, the entry to the deck would not be nearly as beautiful if I didn't have that paver patio there. The dining room table wouldn't be nearly as great where it is if it wasn't on the paver patio. The fire pit area wouldn't be half as awesome as it is if there wasn't a paver patio there. I just hate it. I hate it. It's one of those, I hated it so bad. But then I look at it and it's like, what else would I have done? I had to have the paver patios. It's like, you know what? I feel like I'm hovering between, you should probably make this one too, and if you have the supplies, then why not? And I'm leaning towards, it's definitely not a just because you can doesn't mean you should. It's not a horrible DIY. I love it. It's a great DIY. Oh, the one thing I did put in the pea gravel in the cracks. Some people are like, oh, the pea gravel gets kicked up, and that is 100% true. However, my friend Stacy and some of you guys probably mentioned that there is a solution that you can pour over the pea gravel that kind of, I don't know if it like solidifies it. I haven't done it yet. Obviously, I need to do it. And I still have to actually finish the backyard. It is not done yet. It's one of those things that I'm like, yeah, it looks fine for now. But I do need to get out there and finish it. So I might look for that stuff that you pour into the pea gravel so it kind of solidifies it and it doesn't get kicked up. So I'm gonna say, kind of like the cabinets, it is very labor intensive. So if you have the supplies and you need some sort of a flat surface to put a table on in your backyard, then I'd say make a paver patio. But if you can think of something else, maybe do this something else. But I love my paver patios. That's why they're going into, if you already have the supplies, then why not? Try it, give it a try. You'll curse my name every paver you have to level in place, but in the end, you'll step back and you'll go, that Sheri, she was right. But yeah, it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun at all. After I finished the backyard, again, it's not finished. I still have plenty that I wanna do back there. Over the winter, it kinda got bad. However, I did go out there, I took down my sunshades, I stored them, I took all the cushions off of everything. I winterized my backyard for now. I even emptied my stock tank pool and put a cover on it so that the inside stays good and I don't have to redo it again this summer. But there are some things that we need to finish in the backyard, which we will get to in 2025. But for 2024, my finished backyard led to my interview with a former DF wire, where we sat Stacy down and we talked to her about how she was in the past and how she is now since I've opened her eyes to the magic of DIY. And we went through her entire cabin and she showed us everything that she has made over on her own. Now, we didn't make any DIYs in that video, but it is still a great video nonetheless. After I interviewed Stacy, I stayed up at her cabin and we tested an Amazon candle making kit. This kit was very easy to understand, came with everything that you needed. The candles were great. This one's a tough one because it's like you can't already have the supplies unless you actually buy the kit from Amazon. But I don't necessarily think it's a you should probably make this too video. It's definitely not a just because you can doesn't mean you should. It was great. The kit was great from Amazon. The candles were great. Stacy and I bonded exactly like the instructions said we would. I don't think it deserves, you should probably make this one too. Maybe just little candles. I'll put it in if you already have the supplies, why not? If you would like to make some candles, this is a very nice kit to purchase off of the Amazons. It came with all the little containers. Again, Stacy and I had fun making them. Super easy. The scents were great. I've burnt the candles. They burn nicely. It leaves a nice little scent everywhere. So yeah, if you wanna go on the Amazons and buy a candle making kit, this one in particular that we tested, I say, why not? All right, after Stacy and I made the candles up at her cabin, I came home and took that vintage telephone desk that Stacy and I scavenged from Operation Cleanup in my town off of the side of the road. Remember, it had all the broken spindles. Stacy scavenged through the pile. She found extra spindles. And my goal, because I've never, in all of the furniture that I've made over, whether I owned it, found it on the side of the road, bought it, I basically just slapped a coat of paint on it and called it done. This was the first time I ever tried my hand at actually bringing something back to its former glory. I took the whole thing apart, I stripped it, I sanded it down to its bare wood, I remade spindles, I glued everything back together, and it's beautiful. It is right there. I love that telephone desk, and I love the idea of not just slapping a coat of paint on something and making it look as beautiful as it once did many, many, many years ago. Again, it's not something for everyone, but I think you guys, I was gonna say if you have the supplies already, then why not? But you really don't need that many supplies except for like sandpaper, stripper, and some wood glue. I really think that if you are into redoing furniture and you enjoy the process of, you know, finding something at the thrift store, finding something on the side of the road, but you typically just repaint it, maybe you should try restoring it. I think you should try it just once. That's what I'm saying. So I'm not gonna put it in the already, if you already have the supplies, then why not? I think this goes into, you should probably do this. I am enjoying it, like, let's just say, generations to generate. I can hand it down to Davis right now in the hopes that he would hand it down and he would hand it down because it is beautiful and it looks exactly, I believe, as it did when it first came to life. So if you could restore something, bring it back to its former glory, and then have it to like pass down to generations to generations to generations, then I say why not? You should probably make this too. That's all I'm saying. Give it a try. It was easy-ish. Okay, so just as I'm saying, stop slapping a coat of paint on something and refinish it to its former glory. The next DIY video I did was ombre painting that, again, side of the road, free furniture piece. It was a new paint technique I've never done before. And the funny thing is the other day I was walking by, because it's in Davis's room, or the spare room, Davis's room. And I was walking by and I stopped and I looked at it and I was like, That did turn out pretty good.
That's so good.
That ombre painting, even though like close up, it's not like the best ombre, it's still a pretty good ombre. And that was slapping many coats of paint on something to get that look. While I said, if you normally take furniture and you slap a coat of paint on it, maybe you should try refinishing it to its former glory. This ombre paint technique, I think was really good. It was initially difficult to like find my flair and the way I needed to like blend the paint colors so that they seamlessly made this beautiful gradient, but I did find it and it did end up looking really good.
Very nice.
Now, I picked like greens and yellows, but you can pick any colors. You can pick your favorite colors. Blend them, mush them all together, take that spray bottle, water it down, get it all good. It's just another way to upcycle an otherwise ugly piece of furniture that you may have gotten for free or that you may already own and you just don't like anymore. Maybe there's something in your garage or your backyard and you put it there because you're like, ugh, I don't like that. Maybe you could pull it in and then try a cool ombre painting technique. So I'm gonna say for the ombre painted free piece of furniture, if you already have the supplies, then why not? Oh, we are nearing the end of our DIYs for 2024. And I don't have any in the just because you can doesn't mean you should tier. So I feel like maybe I'm kind of eating my words when I told you guys in the beginning, like, oh, you're just gonna put all your DIYs up in the top tiers because you think they're all amazing. And then I was like, no, I could admit to myself when they're not. Right now, I must not. No, I believe in the rankings so far. And so far, all of my DIYs have been amazing. Nobody justifies being in the just because you can doesn't mean you should category. I'm sorry about it. Right now, can't nobody tell me nothing. All of these DIYs are ranked perfectly accurately, which brings us to the Let's Mosaic Tile $5 side tables. You guys should do it. I'm telling you, they're outside right there. We took those, I found those, they're technically benches. I got them at the Five Below. I bought those beautiful mosaic tiles off of the Amazon. A little grout, turned them into a perfect side table for outside. I think they're great. I think you should do it. Tiling is not hard. While I wouldn't say super Is it super awesome? I do like them. It was a pretty easy DIY. Tiling is pretty great. It doesn't require any power tools or anything like that. Actually, you know what? You're right. It was super awesome. I was gonna say it should go in the you should probably make this tier, but no. It is super awesome and you should definitely mosaic tile something. Side table, chair, end table, picture, whatever. It's super easy. End result is amazing and I guarantee you will love it. So yeah, super awesome. You should mosaic tile. Next up, ooh, we're into Halloween territory. And now Halloween DIYs are kind of my favorite DIYs, so don't be surprised if I rank all of the DIYs for Halloween up into the top tiers. I'm just saying. But our first kickoff to Halloween 2024 was the Spooky Halloween Wall Art DIY. I know I just said that all of my Halloween DIYs are amazing and they're probably all gonna go into the top tiers. However, this one, no. I didn't like them. I didn't like them at all. The inspiration looked really great to me, but the DIY final result was not, I mean, they look, no, I'm not even gonna try to justify it, guys. If you made them because I made them and you really love yours and they turned out great, let me know in the comments below. I made these and they did turn out pretty great. However, I don't wanna hang anything on my wall for seasonal. I'm not gonna take down artwork or put new holes in my wall to accommodate seasonal artwork. I'm just not gonna do it. And so when I made these, I bought little easels so I could set them on a surface and I don't know, they were just okay. So you know what? It's the first one, but just because you can, doesn't mean you should. You know what? They weren't really that spooky either, if I'm being real honest with you guys.
Well, sir, I don't like it.
Those ones were a no for me, dog. Sorry. All right, so now that we're past those hideous, spooky Halloween wall art things, we move into Magical Stirring Witches Potion. That was was amazing. That was amazing. Again, not my idea. I got that idea off of the YouTubes from an amazing YouTuber that makes a lot of potions and whatnot. And Davis and I know Davis loved that one. That little thing that spun it and concocting like the mica powders in there. Oh, the book, everything about it was great. If you didn't end up making a magical stirring witch's potion for Halloween 2024, you should totally make it for 2025. It is amazing. Amazing. Not to mention, Davis and I had a great time putting it together, and it looked so cool in my Halloween display. I love it. I want to make 1 million more of those magical stirring potions. 1 million more. So yes, I am putting the magical stirring witch's potion DIY in the super awesome you should make it tier, because it's super awesome and you should totally make it. After we made the amazing magical witch's potion for Halloween, we went into cheap and easy Halloween tablescape DIYs. Oh yeah, we made the really cool stick with the crows on it from what I remember. That was pretty cool. Really, you just needed crows. I got a little bucket from the Dollar Tree, and I got a stick from a tree in my backyard and spray painted it black. Yeah, I mean, if you already have the supplies, then why not? That brings us into the baking bread in my 30-year-old bread machine. Well, I love that bread machine. I say I love that bread machine, and I haven't made bread in it since. Not one time since. I did keep it in the house. It didn't go back into the garage. It went back into the pantry. But I feel like I made the bread kind of like when I first got the bread machine, when you're like, yes, I'm making bread every day. I made bread for a really good amount of time when I first got the bread machine, and then I put it in the garage and it sat for like 30 years, and then I never made bread again until this actual video. And now I've put it away and I haven't made bread since. So you know what? I think that if you have a bread machine, you should use it and you should make the bread. So it's not necessarily a just because you can doesn't mean you should. But I'm gonna say it wasn't really a DIY video, but still a great video. We're nearing the end. We're on our final 3 DIY videos of 2024. How will they rank? We don't know. Next up is the macrame kit. You guys, I'm serious. If you haven't macrame, you should totally macrame. I know it's not everybody's style. I get it. It is a certain style. But those macrame plant holder situations that I made, I gave both of them away as Christmas gifts, and the gift receivers loved them. I loved learning how to macrame. I just had a friend who had a birthday. I macrame'd her a plant hanger and she loved it. I want to macrame myself the 2-tier plant holder, and I saw this I don't want to give this away, but I saw this really cool thing that they macrame'd something. I'm not going to tell you what it is because I am going to do it in an upcoming video, so I want to leave it as a surprise, but point of the story is it's more macrame. So I love macrame. Again, I know it's not everybody's style, but I think it should be. I think everybody should macrame. And the kit that I purchased off of the Amazon was a great, while the verbiage in the book is a little bit hard to understand, the book does include pictures that makes it a lot easier to understand. I'm by no means a world-class macrameer at this point. Even with the plant hanger, I just macrameed for my friend's birthday gift. I still only know the 2 macrame knot. Well, technically 3, like the tie off, and then I know like the half knot and the full knot. But I'm telling you, makes beautiful plant holders. Everybody should learn how to macrame. I think you should do it. I think you should probably make this too. It's a kit, it's a book, it's easy. You sit on the floor and you macrame and you get this beautiful thing. You should probably make it. I'm telling you, you should probably macrame too. Okay, we are down to the final 2 videos. The second to the last DIY video of 2024 was setting the perfect holiday table. Oh, this is the video where I got those ceramic plates, the unbreakable plates sent to me, and they broke. And I didn't even drop them from that high of a level. You guys all saw. I know there were a lot of you that were really up in arms, as I was too, about the unbreakable claims from the company. But I will say this. I don't think I've ever told you this part. So when a company reaches out to me and they ask if they can send me something to test, be it a sponsored video or a not sponsored video, what have you, every time I complete a video and I actually upload it, I email that company to say, hey, I just uploaded the video, hope you enjoy it. And that's it. That's my final communication with the company. For this company in particular, when I sent them that final email to say, hey, the video's been uploaded, hope you like it, I also said to them, your unbreakable plates were not unbreakable. I was able to break them with very little effort at all. You may want to consider removing the word unbreakable from all of your marketing materials. And they emailed me back and told me that they did. And I went and checked it out, and I don't see unbreakable in any of their literature at all. So props to that company for recognizing that they have an error. The item that they were claiming was unbreakable was not unbreakable, and they went and fixed that error. I mean, maybe no one that they've ever sent the plates to before has ever thought to challenge the unbreakableness like I did, and maybe they themselves have never thought to test the unbreakableness. But point of the story is, since I brought it to their attention, they did edit all of their marketing materials. But that's besides the point, because the video was actually about setting the perfect table. Those plates were just one element of setting the perfect table. The star of that video was that centerpiece. That centerpiece turned out so great. Now, I bought more expensive battery-operated candles, but as I stated in the video, you could buy the battery-operated candles from the Dollar Tree. We decorated them with like a little fabric collar. We got all of our supplies from the Dollar Tree, the picks, the styrofoam, everything. That DIY was super cheap to make, and it looked amazing in the end. And because it's in like sections, like an end piece of styrofoam, then a middle piece, and middle piece and an end, it was so easy to pack up. I just took all the little bits and parts, put the candles exactly back in their like box they came in, and then packaged it all up. So I think that was great, and I think you should probably make it. Wasn't super awesome, but you should probably make it. And that brings us to the last DIY video of 2024. What tier will it go in? Well, let's talk about it. It was the holiday DIY gift baskets that everyone will want to receive. Well, I'll tell you what, I made the Moscow Mule gift basket, and then I made the coffee ones. I got all the ideas from that book that I purchased. I didn't think of these gift baskets myself. That book was a huge inspiration. I think the gift baskets that I made turned out great, and I was correct because the people that I gave them to loved them. They actually really wanted to receive them. After I gave them, I got texts and calls about how the coffee liqueur was so great and how this was so great. So making your own gift baskets to give as gifts, be it for the holidays, birthdays, what have you, if you can put like a homemade element into your gift basket, I say do it. I think that DIY gift baskets are kind of the way to go. They're the perfect gift for the person that you think already has everything. And making like a whole like themed gift basket out of something is a little bit nicer than just, handing someone like a bag of chocolate chip cookies that you made. I like the idea of making your own gift basket, and when you have a theme and you can put not only the items that you made yourself, but when you can combine that with like a couple store-bought items to just like elevate it a little bit more, I think it's great. And so for that, I say our final DIY video of 2024 goes into the you should probably make that too category. All right, there it is right there. Our entire DIY 2024 tier list. Out of 25 DIY videos, we only placed one in the just because you can doesn't mean you should. What can I say? All of my DIYs are bangers. You guys, obviously, you should totally make the first 2 tiers. So what I'm telling you for 2025 is go back, watch all of these videos and make them. And then after you've made all of those and you still are looking for things to do, go into the, if you have the supplies, watch those videos, and then you should make those too. Because like I said, all my DIYs are amazing, minus this little Halloween one. And that was just a weird fluke. Usually they're all very, very amazing. Now, if you disagree with me, let me know in the comments below. Where would you put some of these? Do I have some in the super awesome that really should go in the just because you can doesn't mean you should? I don't think so, but if you guys think so, let me know in the comments below. And with all that said, if you like this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. Be sure to ring that notification bell so that you are alerted to all of the DIY Wednesday videos I push out, which is every other Wednesday at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. Ooh, is there like a special, okay, I'm trying to be better in 2025 and I want to create more engagement for the channel. Now, I know my last couple videos of 2024, I have yet to respond to any of your guys' comments. I was giving myself a little bit of a mental break because editor John and I are thinking of new things for 2025. How can we boost our subscriber count in 2025? I was feeling a little bit down. Anyways, I know I still have a lot of comments to answer. Hopefully, my not answering your comments right away didn't make it so you don't want to comment ever again, because I do want to try to create more engagement in 2025. And so I'm thinking of doing some really easy little thing like a lot of YouTubers I've seen do, where they're like, if you made it all the way to the end of this video, put up something in the comments below. So if you made it all the way to the end of this video, how about you, is there like a hammer? I couldn't really find any like hammers or anything that had to do with DIYs in the emojis. So if you made it all the way to the end of this video, leave a heart emoji in the comments below. And with all that said, thanks for hanging out.